this episode of True Confessions. It is a ministry of God's eternal truth for me to tell you all that I talk about in these episodes. It is all about trying to communicate information that I am receiving via the Holy Spirit to the rest of the world as a ministry of this message of God's eternal truth. It's just that simple. Keep a frame of mind and you will do just fine. Keep a frame of mind when a picture won't do. Fill the space with love and you will see I'm here. Fill the space with love and I will appear to you. Keep a frame of mind and you will do just fine. Keep a frame of mind when a picture won't do. Fill the space with love and you will see I'm here. Fill the space with love and I will appear to you. Keep a frame of mind and you will do just fine. Keep a frame of mind when a picture won't do. Fill the space with love and you will see I'm here. Fill the space with love and I will appear to you. Go Cowboys. And we're back. Go Cowboys. All right. Natural selection is the topic for today's episode. Now, I wanted to say that I am kind of living on a lunar cycle at the moment. I really don't know why that's occurring, but my day typically starts about 2 a.m. and the moon is like, bam, she's like is it apogee? I think they call it. You know, the highest, that peak point in the sky, the night sky is like, that's when I gotta get out of bed. It's like sunrise, boom. You know, I don't know why that's happening. It just is. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Feeling it. Midnight on the oasis, and I'm telling you the secrets of the universe. Midnight on the oasis, and I'm telling you the secrets of the universe, baby. Doesn't mean anything. But I do begin my day with devotional prayer and, communicating with God, trying to think through what is it, Lord, you want me to talk about today? What do you want me to do? And then there's, there are things that happen around me and that I think about. And today it came up that natural selection is the point of it. Because natural selection, the concept of natural selection means that throughout all of these events that occur, one thing will result. And that one thing will then continue on to have other additional occurrences as it continues to evolve. So, in our process of evolution, natural evolution, the evolution of everything on our planet, we can't deny the concept of evolution. It's all around us. You know, plants, bugs. I mentioned the evolution of mosquitoes being more attracted to citronella than repelled by it. They have evolved. I'm not getting too many mosquitoes now with the burning thingy. It does make me cough. It does make me cough and clear my throat. It's a burning smell. It's like a little smoke floating around in the air around me right now because of that burning coil and those tiki torches. But the tiki torches have a citronella cedar, so they're like an attractant repellent. So the mosquitoes are like, oh, this smells good. Boom! Pow! They explode. It's like flying into the sun for them. Poof! That's what happens to them. It's natural selection. Those who are not evolving to be intelligent enough to stay away from the flame get burned. Well, all of those who have evolved to have the intelligence, oh, don't want to go over there. Those are the ones that survive. So then what happens is now you got all these mosquitoes that never die because they know better than to go to the flame. Because those that didn't know better already got wiped out. That's how natural selection works, my man. Yeah. Go Cowboys. God has planned for and created this concept of natural selection. Okay? That's what we have to understand is that everything that God has created evolves through a process of natural selection as designed by God. Okay, defiance of that. Ooh, that evokes God's wrath. Oh, you don't want to interfere with nature to the point when it insults God. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Modifying biological organisms to use them as weapons? Yeah, that's kind of insulting to God. Uh-huh. Right? Because now you're playing God. Because God is one who makes decisions about how things like that happen. All right? Now, because of that, because if a species like humanity attempts to play God by manipulating biological organisms in order to create weapons of mass destruction with them, just saying, then that insults God. Ooh. And then a species like humanity would evoke the wrath of God. As such, a natural selection event will occur. Mm-hmm. Scientifically speaking, and from the perspective of God, who is the creator of all science that we know and more, a natural selection event is an event in which God determines who survives and who dies. Mm-hmm. So when a species insults God by playing God, God says, "Oh, really? Let me show you something." Next thing you know, a third of the population of the entire planet has died. And then God says, "Are you sure you want to play God? Are you sure? Because you know, this little demonstration of what it's like to play God should convince you that you don't want to play God. Because God, ooh, yeah, God does not like it at all when a species attempts to play God. Because God does not play. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you think you can play God, go ahead and try. If you think you can play God, go ahead and try. God does not play. Oh, God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. If you think you can play God by making a virus to use as a weapon, you better think again, because God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. If you think you can kill people and get away with it, guess again, 'cause God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. And Jesus Christ was not God. God does not play. If you think you can say a man was God, guess again, because God does not play. God is never a man, and God does not play. God is the creator, the almighty one. He would never become a man on earth. Not ever, baby. You Christians are fake liars. And you're gonna burn in hell. I'm gonna see to it. Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was a man. And pagans killed him. Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was a man, and pagans killed him. Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was just a man, and pagans killed him. Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was just a man, and pagans killed him. Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was just a man, and pagans killed him. God does not play, God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. If you think you can play God, think again, because God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. Oh, Jesus Christ was not the Son of God. He was just a man, and pagans killed him. Jesus Christ was just a man. A man is never God. A man is never God. God does not play. God does not play. God is only one, and Jesus was just a man. God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. God does not play. I'm telling you now, God does not play. God does not play. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, so natural selection events then are those occurrences by which God imposes his wrath and selection of the righteous and faithful from all among humanity. Now, there are a couple of different perspectives about this. We might want to consider what that means. All right, so a natural selection event of, global proportions I'm not talking about a tornado wipes out, a block of homes and kills maybe one person. Oops. You know, that's a natural selection event, by the way, but it's small. When we're talking about natural selection events that occur on a global scale, then God makes those choices all over the planet, all at one time. And then what remains are those that God has decided shall continue to live on this earth because the earth is once again being renewed in a natural selection process. Okay? We see this natural selection process occur all the time in nature. We just don't really recognize it so much. I demonstrated it with the discussion of mosquitoes. It happens all the time with a great many things in nature. This is constant natural selection process that is ongoing, even for our own species. Right, our evolution to this point today has become a result of natural selection events. There was one that occurred about somewhere around 100 years ago. It began. It began small, but it spread because at that time, the world travel wasn't that um, possible. Today, something like that would spread within an hour. It'd be on the other side of the globe in an hour. In a day, it's all over the world. In 2019, that's what happened. That is a demonstration of God's power of selection. It was also an insult to God that we defied God's natural selection event by using our knowledge of science to do so. It's actually very, I want to say, what is the word I'm trying to come up with? It's expressing this thought that's coming into my mind about how God feels regarding our use of science to overcome a natural selection event. Tickled? God is tickled about the fact that we used our knowledge of science to overcome a natural selection event? Wow. God's like, well, that's pretty impressive. Well, how about this one? On the one hand, you defied God and invoked his wrath. But on the other hand, you kind of like, yeah, that was impressive to him. So, how about that one, baby? Try that one. This is God saying this. Do you know me well enough to do that again? Do you? That's what God says. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that we're going to get another one. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming. We're getting another one of those. It's in the book of Revelations. That was the second one. COVID-19 was the second one. Influenza was the first. It's in the book of Revelations. Numbers. Those numbers are meaningless. And they're stupid because it's all disorganized anyway. You know, if you don't read it by the guidance of the Holy Spirit, then you don't understand what it means. But I'm telling you, Influenza was in Book of Revelations. COVID-19 was the second one that talked about in the Book of Revelations. And whatever is about to happen is going to be the third one. But this is what you need to understand about these things. These are natural selection events. These are natural selection events. They have been planned by God to occur. Because as we evolve as a species, when we evolve, we're like those mosquitoes. We become overpopulated. We get too many of them. So now there needs to be a natural selection event, like the tiki torches. So all of those mosquitoes that have not evolved to be smart enough to stay away from the flame get burned. Poof, they're gone, right? But all those that have kind of evolved and are like, ooh, I don't know what that is, but I don't want to go over there, right? They evolved, they have that intelligence. They live. They continue on. Now, it's a miniature sort of natural selection event. It's probably not really very effective because most of the mosquitoes, they already know, but they evolved to know. We've evolved to know how to manage a flood so it doesn't wipe us out. But have we evolved to know how to manage an event like what might come from the sky? It is God with the asteroid on a planet. Comets, asteroids, whatever. When it comes from there, the hey baby, that's God. You know, yeah, you are not going to be able to stop that one. And that's the point I'm trying to make to you is that when God has a planned natural selection event on Earth and has told us about it in a book like the Book of Revelations, but yet we take measures to respond to that. Well, that entices God because God realizes that these people were ready because they listened to the message. Really, what happened with COVID-19 happened because we as a species, we listened to that message from Jesus Christ a long time ago. We listened to what the Apostle John said in the prophecy in the book of Revelations because science, we ultimately know that all of, the really smart people, those who have evolved like me, those who went to the right schools, right? We know that all that nonsense about a man being God, it was just nonsense. But we also know that there is a truth to all of what's in there. That God is the Holy Spirit, God is this science, God is the creator of all science, everything that we know, and beyond what we know and can even understand. That's God. Okay? When you go to the right school, then you begin to understand. That's what you learn. If you haven't gone to the right school, then you haven't learned that. You still are running around thinking that some man who got killed 2,000 years ago was God. Dum dum. That's not God. No, I'm telling you that God is everything that we've come to know and everything we don't know. Those pagan cults don't say that. Those pagan cults, those Christians, Muslims, Jews, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that God is everything that we don't know, as well as everything that we think we know. Because we can't possibly know everything that is God. It's beyond our capability as a minuscule species on some simple rock in space in a vast universe. We can't possibly know everything that God is or is not. Yeah. So you think about that and know that God's process of natural selection is going to occur with or without our cooperation because there is no right seat right on this one, baby. You're in it. Peace.